All right, closing bell is ringing in about 8 minutes. Again, please remember, we have for the Mag 7, Amazon, Alphabet, Microsoft, and Meta all reporting earnings in just a few minutes. So, don't put too much stock in what you see right here. We've got the Dow down about 273 points, the S&P down 9, NASDAQ down 26. We really should show Bitcoin right now. So Bitcoin trades 24/7. This morning, it traded at around $77,892. But then you see what happened after the Federal Reserve left interest rates unchanged for the third consecutive meeting this year. It fell. I think the low of the session, it almost fell slightly below 75,000. Right now, it's at 75,511. It is, of course, still well below the October 6th all-time high of 126,000 and change. Bitcoin did briefly touch a 12-week high on Monday, 79,488, as traders were looking for signs of progress in peace talks between the U.S. and Iran. We don't have that yet. So what do you do if you are a crypto lover, a crypto curious type of person? Joining me now in a Fox Business exclusive is Mr. Crypto, Galaxy Digital founder and CEO Mike Novogratz. Mike, the Fed decision, leaving rates unchanged for the third straight meeting, but also indicating no rate cuts this year because of the high oil prices. What does that mean for the next several months for Bitcoin?
Yeah, listen, Bitcoin was hoping for Powell to leave gracefully, for Kevin Warsh to come in with a dovish bias, and the war to end. And, war hasn't ended. When it ends, I think oil prices will go back down. And I don't think the Fed's going to ever hike rates in this thing. But we know we've got some bad inflation prints coming through the pipeline. And that's going to make it harder for Warsh to convince the Fed to cut. And so, he's a very smart and rational guy. It probably takes cuts off, certainly the next few meetings. And maybe by the end of the year, you get that story going again. But you need the war to end. The other part of crypto is this market structure bill that needs to pass. And we'll see. There's a lot of pushback around the ethics. The president and his family, the Democrats were pushing that, but now Tom Tillis has gotten on that as well. Tillis and President Trump are not kissing cousins these days. And so, those are two important things for Bitcoin. What I would say positively is there's a whole lot of retail money that continues to come into the space, buying either the ETFs or in turn sometimes MicroStrategy, who once people buy his stock, he buys Bitcoin. And so, we trade fine. We put a low in at 60 after that real first quarter sell-off. I don't think we're going back to 60. I could see kind of 75 to 82, 70 to 72 to 82 until we kind of get some more momentum. But that's not really been the big story in crypto this year. It has been, we're in this transition into infrastructure. Galaxy, our company, is transitioning, but the whole industry. And when I say infrastructure, it is setting up the pipeline, the pipes for post this market structure bill for the U.S. to sell tokenized equities and tokenized fixed income and tokenized everything to the rest of the world, right? We've got these amazing brands in America, and they're going to get sold to the 5 or 6 billion people in the rest of the world that don't have access to great financial services. And I think that's the bigger story that I'm focused on, and that I think most crypto people are focused on.
Well, yeah, you've got the CoreWeave lease, and you're going to make that's a classic infrastructure story about more build out when it comes to being able to mine more Bitcoin. You guys at Galaxy just did a top and bottom line beat. I think more, Mike, people are just wondering how to read Bitcoin right now with so many different, as we said earlier, slings and arrows just coming at the whole world at the moment.
I think the people are less focused on it than they were, say, 6 months ago.
Okay.
And so there's a little bit, lower volatility and lower energy in the space. But I think, like I said, you're seeing retail buying it. We saw some sovereign wealth funds from the Mideast buying some. And I kind of think it's a sideways, less exciting market until we get some catalysts. Those catalysts could be the market structure bill.
Yeah, I've got to ask you, because suddenly there are all these articles, and Brett Carreau, formerly of the Wall Street Journal, I think he still may be with the Journal, writing about who he feels Satoshi Nakamoto truly is. He did a deep dive. The Journal article explained how he spent several years trying to look into it, and the name that came back was this 55-year-old computer scientist named Adam Back, whom I'm sure you are familiar with. Does that ring true? Adam Back has denied it, denied it.
No, Adam Back is not Satoshi. Adam gets credit for helping, create the concept of Bitcoin mining. And so he's certainly an important guy in the space, but he's not Satoshi. And what I like about Satoshi is that no one knows who he is. You think about how gold became this unbelievable asset. It was blessed by the gods. If it was in the Egyptians or the Incas, right? It had this mystical property. Like, to some degree, our version of that in digital gold is that no one knows who Satoshi is. And so I'm pretty certain we're never going to figure out who he is. And I think that's a good thing.
Well, yeah, that would kind of work with the whole Bitcoin as an anonymous type of currency. It really works with that. Good to see you, Mike. Thank you for joining us.
Wish you as well.
Mike Novogratz says Adam Back is not Satoshi, and the war in Iran needs to end before Bitcoin can really start roaring forward.